Now to the sentencing of a former teacher in Modesto.
Mr. Hooker, any comments about your sentencing today?
Get away from my client right now.
James Hooker had little to say after being sentenced for having a sexual relationship with a former student.
The former teacher reached a plea deal earlier this week. Today, his punishment became official, and for the first time, we heard from the victim in this case.
KCRA 3's Janet O was there for the sentencing, and she tells us what happened. Janet?
Yeah, and James Hooker was sentenced to 4 years probation, and he must also register as a sex offender. The victim, who is now 32, said that she was taken advantage of when she was a senior in high school. She said she only came forward when she realized that Hooker had become a repeat offender. The sentencing lasted about 30 minutes. It was delayed initially because Hooker's attorney asked the judge if they could withdraw his agreement to register as a sex offender. It was denied. Mr. Hooker, any comments about your sentencing today?
Get away from my client right now.
Former Modesto teacher James Hooker was charged with 1-count oral copulation after a former student, now known as Michelle Miller, came forward last year and told police what happened 15 years ago. In court, she read a victim's impact statement that explained the two had met when she was a student at Bayer High. He was a business teacher at Davis High. Miller said Hooker came into her life when she was vulnerable as she was dealing with her parents' divorce. She said despite him knowing her age, a romantic relationship started when she was 17. Gloria Allred is Miller's attorney.
Because she has done the right thing, other children will now receive a measure of protection. And Mr. Hooker will now be recognized for the predator that he is.
I felt very confident it was a win and successful for the society at large and specifically Michelle.
Miller said she suffered emotionally and physically for many years. She told the judge after today she is complete and free. Now, Hooker has 5 days to register as a sex offender. If he violates his probation, he will serve jail time for up to 6 months. Reporting live in Modesto, Janet O, KCRA 3 News.
Janet, thank you. A person of interest in a recent homicide is now in the hospital after being shot by a Sacramento